You read the title right. We started the fire. It's our fault. Let me explain how. Our journey begins with boredom. How were we bored? I don't know. Where were we bored? I don't know. When were we bored? I also don't know. Who was bored? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I and my cousin Vector. We were bored because we were busy drawing at midnight and suddenly the power went out. Now, okay, obviously the logical thing to do in that situation was to wait for the power to come back on. But our pre-teenage minds were so impatient that we found an old candle while looking in the dark. We lit it and we started drawing. I can't remember what we were actually drawing, but yeah, it better be important because I almost burnt my house down. Okay, so we were drawing under candlelight, and just as the candle wax was about to run out, I told my cousin,
we could actually make the candle stay for a longer time, right?
And my cousin asked,
How?
And I said,
We just gather stuff and put it in the fire to sustain it more.
And in that moment, dear viewer, I felt like the smartest person in the world. I just made a discovery. The law of fire dynamics, invented by yours truly, Sir Albert Potato Stein. So my cousin goes,
Hey, what if we use the cardboard box that I just found lying on the floor for some reason?
We can use this foam from the kitchen.
We can use this pillow!
So we started gathering any flammable thing we could find and started putting them in the fire, and surprisingly, it actually worked. The fire didn't go out and the living room was as bright as the sun. Will she let the fire go out? Is this the end of him now? Dying king with a fumbling crown. Will she let the fire go out? Okay, now, I know what you're thinking. Aren't your parents around? And yes, my parents were around, but they were locked inside their bedroom, sound asleep. Wait, you think we do something as stupid as this when our parents are watching? Get out of here. So back to the fire story. The fire was so bright and we were so happy that we made the candle last longer, but despite our happiness, it wasn't still enough to satisfy that deep, burning flame in our hearts. So being the stupid Gerald I've always been, I went around the house looking for some more alternatives to keep the flame on. Then, I stumbled upon a battery that was just lying on the floor. I took the battery that said clearly on its body, "Do not expose the naked flame." I took the battery and I tossed it into the fire that was on our table, in the living room, in our house.
In the midnight!
And what happened next, you couldn't imagine. But first, a word from our sponsors. The battery started sparking, and the fire became bigger and bigger, and the living room had an eerie orange glow. And we were panicking, we didn't know what to do. My cousin running around, looking for how to stop the fire from spreading. I was just standing there, frozen, looking at the flame, and thinking about how much trouble I'm going to get in. The house will be burnt down, people's cars will be burnt down. If we don't hurry and get out of here, we will be burned down too. Then, the power came back on. But that only made it worse because my cousin had put out the fire. It was over. Nothing got burnt. Then we got rid of the heaviness, cleaned the room, and laughed. And then we watched Jim Jam together. You better run, cause we're going to burn your house down. We're coming for you, Bryson. Run.